Hey guys, David Hughes, Theater Advice and FCAV. I'm super excited today. I've had it for a little while actually, but I swapped out my old LS12000 with a JVC, and a couple things happened. Not that I ever wasn't a JVC fan. People somehow think that from the videos or whatever, but I was just an Epson for the money fan, and I still will admit that I am. But the reason, so I got the new NZ800. So the new NZ800 is $16,000, and I wouldn't have gone that far, but I wanted to match the lumen output. I'm big on lumens, I'm big on brightness. I watch this with the lights on a lot. And so I wanted to match the lumen output, but while getting a better picture quality. And you're gonna get better picture quality out of an NZ800 or an NZ7 all day long. It's way more detailed, you know, all that stuff. And we'll cover some of the bullet points and specs and stuff like that later. But I bought a light meter, and I just want to actually test light lumen, like lux output at different parts of the screen, and be very, very realistic about people and their money and what they're wanting to spend money on, and put the importance where it actually matters. And believe it or not, I have not tested this yet. I don't know what these numbers are, and I don't know what they are compared to other things. I'm just going to do videos on each one and tell you what those numbers are. You can make a decision for yourself. Maybe the manufacturer's lying and they get in trouble, and or maybe we're good, right? But it's not. That's not my problem. I'm not the one that makes their specs. So I will say this: when I turned this projector on, right when I bought it, I instantaneously noticed that it was way brighter than my Epson. So 2700 lumen Epson, 2700 lumen JVC, and I was like, "Oh, that's way brighter." And I was watching it with the lights on a little bit, so I could tell. Not only was it brighter, but it was brighter edge to edge. So my sconces used to kind of fight the battle at the corners here. Not that big of a deal. It's an ALR screen. Still looked really good. But I could tell that it faded out to the edges. I just lived with it. This one fought through that light. It's really, really good edge to edge. So really uniform lighting. Hey, we're going to do an ad or something. They want me to subscribe to Dots and Boxes, which I don't want to do. So we're going to go right back there. Fix that. Sorry, that was supposed to last 20 minutes, and you know what? It probably did, but I was setting up for the video and I let it run out. No, that's a lie. Look at that thing. It's like 12 minutes. So I don't even know what I was just saying, but that was my rewind noise. Sorry. Yeah, so anyway, I noticed it was super bright, right? So it was bright, uniform lighting, really, really good. But then when I went in to start tweaking and stuff like that, I noticed that the light engine was only at 60%. So it was already brighter than the Epson at the same lumen level. It was only using 60% of the laser. Right now I only probably have it at 70, 75 or something like that, just to boost it a little bit, but the thing will last 25 years now at that point. So especially how often I use it, which is not. So let's do some light meter readings, then we're gonna go to some pictures, we'll do some B-roll. I'll talk about it. I'm in love with the thing. I mean, for 16 grand, you should be in love with it, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's insanely detailed. I was just sitting at the edge of my riser, 10 feet. That's 10 feet all day, like 11 feet maybe. And I just pulled up some like grass blades and stuff like that. And I mean, literally unbelievable picture from 11 feet away. And this is a 153. So, I mean, that's too close in most people's opinion, not in mine, but full immersion and no pixels. I literally can't see a pixel here, and I'm 18 inches. So that's how damn good this thing is. 8K E-Shift, 4K native, 2700 lumens, super HDR support, all that stuff. Now, JVC's big claim, and everybody's big claim, right, is their ability to make black levels. Well, we all know that that's bull. You know, if you want to beat me or whatever you're going to do later, but that's what that is. So projectors don't make black levels. That's a lie. It just sends less light. But I want to test how much light it actually sends there versus other ones. I know that it's less probably because my projector looks frickin' smoking good, but I'm still going to give you real numbers. So I've got this lux meter here, and I'll just kind of tell you what it says. Actually, this is the brightest point here. So that is running 303. At the brightest point, 306 if I aim it up a tiny bit, which is more fair. So 303 to 306. Then we're going to go to the darkest section here in the shadow, and it is 1.04. So actually, I'll twist this. Look at how fancy I am, folks. All right, so I don't even know. Yeah, maybe that. Can you see those numbers? I don't even see what they are now, but whatever. So that's black. It's in the darkest section of the dark. We're going to go back down here, and we're going to go into the brightest section on this pattern.
309.9.
309 to like 1 or whatever it was, 0.9 or something. That's pretty freaking good. I'm going to do the math later and see. I can tell you it's not like 10 million to 1 or whatever the heck they read on paper probably. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but I don't think we're going to get there, folks, but I think it's pretty freaking good. So what a lot of people don't realize too is like all the contrast floating numbers and all that stuff is all lies anyway, right? They all lie. I mean, at the end of the day, THX standards, when they build an actual commercial theater, this is my just wealth of useless information. When you build a THX certified theater, you're only trying to get 300 to 1. Right? And then people are buying projectors and saying they're 1,000,000 to 1 and how great they are. It's like, it's not required. 300 to 1, which I think is literally what we just saw, is THX standard. So, I mean, what we just saw is this projector is a THX standard projector, and I don't think that it is. Maybe it is, but I mean, those are the numbers. So this is what they go for when they're building the best of the best of the best. Sorry, that's a Men in Black. The best and the best and the best. I love that show. So that, I mean, that's great numbers. So I'm going to read some other colors. We'll probably pop them up as I say, just so you can see them, because color brightness is different as well. So, at red, we're reading about 52. So it's not going to be as bright on a red, of course. Blue, we're running a little bit brighter into the 70s. They're running blue a little harder. Green, oh, green's really bright. So green, we're running into the 150s, 160s.
67.
And then we'll come over here to the black again. Man, it's sending really low light to that black area. Not black, less light. That's impressive. So let's pull up some videos. I'll tweak a couple of things. I'll show you the guide. I'll show you my settings in SDR mode right now, and we'll kind of play around with that. After a word from our sponsors, which I don't have actually. No sponsors. If anyone would like to sponsor me, I'm looking for sponsors. People to give me dollars. I like dollars. Again, I'm on a Slate 1.2. If you're on a white screen or something like that, Black Diamond, your numbers are going to be a little different. But I sell Slate a lot, so I'm going to do calibration on a Slate. I'm going to use the user 1 setting. So I've got, my numbers are at, the lamp power is only at 73. I've had it as low as 65. That's where the fan cuts off, by the way. So if you put it at 65 and you can live with it, you don't hear any fan noise. I like it around this 73 number. Dynamic control low. Aperture, I actually yanked it back 3 from where it was. It was all the way up, but when I drive it up like that, you kind of want to cut that down a little bit to 2 or 3. I'm not losing any detail, but it definitely doesn't wash out as much of the contrast, so I'm happy with it around that 3 mark. Contrast, I actually pushed it into +6. When I brought the aperture low, contrast made a little more sense to come up a touch. And again, I use this scene and I have for 20 years. It's just really, really solid skin tones. Right when Fifth Element, when she comes out of that hole and she's looking over all the cars that look super fake. It's a cut to her face, and I think this movie was recorded in 8K back in the day. It was really, really, really ahead of its time. Brightness, -1. Color I left at 0. When you drive color down too much, okay, let's just do what you're told. So when you drive color back too much, you start getting kind of milky skin tones. When you go up too far, you're going to start to get that red push. So right about at 0 to 1 is where I live with JVC. They're really, really good at color accuracy. It's almost like somebody there actually turned this thing on before they send it out. So you don't have to mess with it that much. I always do -2 on projectors and TVs. Sometimes even a little bit more depending on the TV. Pulls a little bit of the red out. 2 is negative, is always green for the most part. Eye color looks good there. you know, she's got that crazy dyed hair, that red dyed hair. So, you know, you could see that up to the top right, but that's normal. And as he pans like to the center of the room, it'll probably get a little brighter too, because the ALR screen's not sending in as much light to the side as it is there, but some of the colors might come back alive, you know, dead center. But, you know, you're gonna get, you know, her skin imperfections there next to her nose. You know, this is an old movie and you're still getting a ton of detail here. The dark area on the side of her face, that's something you kind of want to concentrate on when you're calibrating. You bring this in here so you can see it, and you kind of get into the aperture and contrast and brightness. When you start bringing brightness in, it does lighten up that side there, and this is the stuff you have to look for, and this is why I use that scene. It does lighten up that left side, and that's where people get confused with HDR and things like that, brightening up dark areas, is you don't also want to bastardize your black levels and send more light across the board in doing that. I mean, it's not choosing to just send light there. Now, this projector does have frame by frame HDR, so it'll literally look at the frame and brighten up dark areas as it sees the frame, which is great, really great. But as you drive the brightness down, like, that's uncomfortable for me. I don't like that. But right about that -2, I'm still getting detail on the left. It's not as much, but I can see it, and I'm not ruining anything else. So this is kind of where I landed calibration-wise on SDR. And I'll bring it up one more time, and he can take a look at it, so you can cut, frame, or do whatever you want to do. And hey guys, I just wanted to thank you for listening to whatever I was just rambling about. And of course, if you are in the Dallas area or surrounding areas and you can get here, visit our showrooms in Frisco or South Lake location. And now we can help you anywhere, from anywhere in the country, through the world's first mom and pop shop on the internet called fcavsystems.com. We are very excited about this project. We're happy to bring what Theater Advice does here in Texas to everyone. Thanks for watching.